Couple of amazing Xbox games are actually coming with some brand new enhancements and some amazing updates when they drop in November for the Series X. And Miles Morales for Spider-Man. What's the difference between the PS5 and the PS4 version? All of that in the Gaming Hub right now. That's a great day on the internet, everybody, and welcome to Assemble. I'm Matt. How are you? Crazy days, busy days. How have you been? Have you Googled things, been on the internet, see all your craziness when it comes to old guys arguing about, lots of things? Did you get your pre-orders? Are you getting excited? Come on, guys, we're a couple of weeks away. It's sinking in. It's starting to sink in. New consoles, new boxes, fresh cardboard smell coming into your house, all that plastic, all that click, click, boom. Come on, you got a lot of things on the hopper. You're gonna have a great time. And I couldn't be more excited. You know why? Well, I can't calm down. I've been calm all day. I've been having to do the work thing and pretend like I'm working and not work, but really be on Twitter and really be talking to you guys. I'm doing all my work, and then I figured I'm gonna see some updates. And man, oh man, we got a ton of news. Let's get right into it. Two titles that I want to be able to touch on today in the Gaming Hub with you guys. Master Chief Collection is getting all new enhancements and updates when it comes to the Xbox Series X. And there's one other title that is actually getting those updates too. Let's start off with Master Chief Collection. What we're hearing is that the Halo Master Chief Collection is getting fully optimized for the Xbox Series S and X coming at you in November. Here's a rundown of those enhancements. We're talking about 120 frames per second for campaign and multiplayer. We're getting split screen improvements and up to 4K on the Series X for that collection. And they wanted to highlight too that you're getting it for free if you're part of Game Pass, which is an amazing value already, and it continues to grow seemingly on a weekly basis at this point. Now, personally, I can't wait for this. I enjoy Halo. I am not what you would call one of those massive Halo fans, but my man RumblePack92 is a massive Halo fan, and I gotta say, I'm with ya. I also enjoy the Halo, but not quite as much as you guys. He's a true fan of Halo. I am your enthusiast. I enjoy the games, and I haven't gone through the entire Master Chief Collection, but this is an opportunity for gamers like me who have a tight amount of time that haven't been able to go back and try everything and play every single one of those campaigns to be able to go back and beat it. I love all the refreshes and everything they did on the Xbox One X when that came out, and they unfortunately had some hiccups when it came to the launch and the release of the Master Chief Collection. I was excited for that because I was getting all of those games and all of that content in one package and in Game Pass, and it was free essentially through my Game Pass subscription. And we're seeing the upgrades and the increases in fidelity and the increases in performance already. So to hear that they're actually going to take it a step further to give it that extra level of polish and finish when it comes to the Series X and S, this is what I'm looking for. Someone who wants to be able to get into the Halo franchise even more. I'm looking for that. I'm excited. I want to be able to game with you guys and get on that multiplayer in 4K, crispy 120 frames per second. I'm gonna have to get the new TV, aren't I? I'm so fucked. But it's exciting, and it shows how much care and attention that Microsoft, Phil Spencer, and the team over there are actually paying attention to the consumer, to their fan base. And unfortunately, because we are not getting the next Halo game anytime soon, and fingers crossed we're going to get it in 2021, and I really hope so for all of us, because that is what they wanted to be able to launch with this console. And we're getting the Halo Master Chief Collection 1 week after the launch of the brand new consoles. So this will be a nice way to be able to, I think, hold gamers together, people that are even maybe newer to the franchise, that maybe they skipped out on some of the titles and they haven't experienced everything that's in the Master Chief Collection. I think that this is an opportunity for them to be able to show off their consoles, show off what they're able to do with quicker load times, with cutting down on all of the extra bloat that comes with it, for them to cut down on all that stuff, to improve frame rates, ray tracing, all of this stuff to give it that extra polish and feel like you're getting a new, maybe better experience than even what you got before. I think that's going to be a huge win. Now, another huge win, and it's actually coming out of Microsoft, and this is the second game that's coming out from Microsoft this holiday season, is going to be Gears of War 5 is getting some updates, guys. The official Twitter from #GearsOfWar actually did a post earlier today, and it reads like this. I use the phone because I read the tweets like you do. So do this together. Gears 5 feels better than ever on Xbox Series X. We've reduced input latency by 36% for the campaign and 57% for Versus, delivering a profoundly more responsive experience for our players, especially when every millisecond matters. Absolutely. Now they continue on with this thread and they talk a little bit more about some of the enhancements that we're actually getting. And what they do is they actually go on to talk about the latency and performance, and they provide the screenshots to go along with it, which I think is just, again, it's a commendable job, and you have to applaud them for the Gears team to put this together and talk about, we're going to get those enhancements, we're getting them this fall to go with the Series X. Again, it's another reason that maybe if you guys skipped out on Gears 5, it's a great game in itself. It's fun to play, and you know what? It's really going to be able to do even more when we're getting all of that cut down on load times, latency, all of that stuff. When they say it matters, it truly does matter. When you're talking about online and that third-person shooter, having to crouch down, having to jump over walls, being able to quickly switch my guns to my pistol, to my rifle. You need to be able to chainsaw guys in half. Like, I've got to be able to do all of that really, really quick. And to be able to jump into maps, multiplayer, and campaign missions quicker, faster load times, more responsiveness, that's what I'm looking for. And when I hear from all of these amazing creators online that are talking about the performance and the fidelity of the Series X, basically the one key thing is that quick resume is a huge deal. And we're also hearing about that quick loading and how we're shaving seconds, sometimes 30 seconds, a minute in some cases, a minute and 20 seconds off of those games. I'm really curious to see what they're going to do with Gears 5. And when you think about it, guys, one of the really cool things for me as a console player is going to be able to have that quick resume between Master Chief Collection and Gears. I'm itchy for a first-person shooter. Yeah, I'm probably going to end up playing Call of Duty and trying out that, and I want to see how the multiplayer plays with that. But I love the experience of Xbox games with the Xbox controller, and I've always had a soft spot for Gears. And again, like I said at the beginning, not a huge Halo guy, but I'm excited to get back into that game. Let me know in the comments below. Do these two games scratch that itch for you? Do you think it'll tie you guys over for this holiday season when you pick up your Xbox? Let me know. Now we're going to swing over a little bit, and if you caught that, that's actually a Spider-Man reference because he swings the webs. Pew, pew. He doesn't pew. People say pew. My wife does that. She says pew, pew. It's not a thing. Makes me sad. Spider-Man's got some new news. The first bit of news that I want to be able to talk about is not only that Game Informer has been doing a ton of coverage on Spider-Man, the up-res remastered version that we're getting from the PS4 to PS5, but also with Miles Morales. But the other piece of news that was actually coming out was going to be from Push Square. So Push Square actually did an interview with the developers and was talking about the enhancements that we're going to see and the differences between Spider-Man Miles Morales on PS5 versus that on PS4. The article is really good. It's pretty quick, but if you guys want to check it out, I'll leave the link in the description below. So they had the interview with the creative director, Brian Horton, and who goes on to make a couple of key points that we're going to highlight. He says that we were able to take full advantage of all of the features in the PlayStation 5. He goes on to say that one of the things was graphical fidelity. The quote goes on to say that, so you're going to see ray tracing everywhere in the game on PS5. And that's not something that we're going to feature on the PS4 version. And with the DualSense controller, Horton actually talks about how there's going to be kind of an increase in feel and everything and feedback that the player is actually going to get with the DualSense controller with the haptic feedback that's built in versus the rumble on the PS4. So in the interview, Horton actually explains a little bit further about how the haptic feedback in the DualSense allows for greater tactile detail within the game. So they talk about with Miles Morales and you're doing those electric swings and those moves, you're going to feel a little bit more resistance in the actual triggers when it comes to the haptic feedback. Then that's something that you're not going to get on the PS4 version. And then he mentions as well as for SSD on the PS5. And he goes on to say there's near instant loading if you die or if you use fast travel in the game. So it's an interesting quick read, guys, because I love to have any news that's going to talk about Spider-Man for PS4, the remaster going to PS5 and Miles Morales, obviously. But the Push Square article is a great one because it gives us a little bit of insight as to why you might want to be able to get that next-gen game. And obviously they want to be able to push the next-gen console with the leading title, one of the biggest sellers that they're going to have, one of the biggest seller that they have over on Sony for PS4. this is really, really exciting because I feel like you're going to get some real differences within the gameplay. And the biggest thing being loading times. This seems to be the recurring thing between both consoles, and this is why I'm very, very excited. The last piece of news when it comes to Spider-Man actually is coming over to Game Informer, which we just mentioned a little bit earlier. Game Informer has been doing a ton of coverage when it comes to Spider-Man Miles Morales. This past month, we've been getting tons of gameplay coverage, as well as a lot of articles coming out about the game and the experiences, boss fights, and so on, and web slinging. It's been really, really awesome to see all of that. What's really cool is we're actually getting these daily Bugle articles that are from like in-game, and they're actually, Game Informer's actually pulled these out and talked about the different suits that we're going to get. Now, one of the fun ones, one of the cool ones that we're actually seeing is that Miles has a backpack with a cat, and the cat has moves. And the cat like has finishers. Like, so if you're going to do like a power-up move, like the cat is going to do an attack as well in a combo. I'm losing it. I can't believe that we're actually getting this. And we're already getting a glimpse of the other suits that are coming available as well within the game. So one is going to be the track suit, which I think is actually really, really cool design that we're going to get for Miles. And the other one is the Crimson Cowl suit, which is just absolutely awesome. And I just love that in its whole thing. But we actually get Miles with the hood on, with the Spider-Man mask all in nice black with dark reds. That's the kind of suit that I like. And I love just the modern take that they're taking with Miles Morales. And just, it's fun and it's loose. And I just love that it gives it so much more personality on top of the amazing suits that we have. And differentiates it from classic Spider-Man and Peter Parker. This is what I love, and this is what I'm excited about. And having all these costumes and these little teasers of this information coming out makes this thing super exciting. Let me know in the comments below, guys, what are you excited for? Do you find it exciting that you're going to be able to get some remasters, some up-res versions of those Xbox games on your Series X and S coming out this fall? And what do you think about some of the news and highlights coming out of the article from Push Square, as well as Game Informer's coverage of Spider-Man? I'm super excited for Miles Morales. I can't wait. Hopefully I can get that PS5 pre-order done before it comes, but we'll have to wait and see. I've already got the Series X pre-ordered. I gotta tell you, I got a lot of trouble for that one. Thanks so much for watching, guys. As always, thank you for assembling with us. See ya!